I was just hanging out with one of my earth angel friends, and he was telling me a lot of information. I feel like a Velcro just like tore off, like the imagery of a Velcro just ripping apart, or just like me untethering, is the feeling that I got when he shared this. So I'm going to share this, and I hope that it helps to expand your consciousness. Essentially what my friend said to me was that, okay, so how he broke it down was, there is this gift of consciousness, and that is what we have been granted in this reality, the gift of consciousness. And he was essentially saying how life is so precious and phenomenal, really, that the consciousness incarnates into your vessel, enjoys this experience, but there is a death, and everybody experiences death, and we don't know really what happens after death. But what we do know is we do not disappear, we do not evaporate. There is not nothingness that exists after life. There has to be something that exists after life if what the laws of physics, energy, these things that we consider to be fact or law or true in our reality, that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It has to go somewhere. It has to be transferred, transcended, alchemized, changed. Our energy, our consciousness, who we are, our consciousness, the gift of consciousness, has to go back somewhere when this is over. Okay, so stick with me. So because we have to go back to somewhere where this is over, I was watching this video on TikTok the other day, and I will share the video in the description box if I can remember. But the man was essentially saying how you can understand what is going on, or who God is, the creator consciousness, is the all or everything, all of the consciousness collected together. If you were to metaphorically scoop up a cup of God or a cup of this consciousness, you would have the spirit. But if you add like food coloring, red food coloring, whatever color, to the water or to the consciousness, that is now the soul. So the soul has personality, the soul has ego, but essentially it is still a piece of that essence. So if God were like the ocean, or God is the everything, all everything, so we could say the ocean, if you scooped up a little part of that, that would be what the spirit is. When you add a little coloring, or your personality, your ego, being a whatever you are, that is your soul, right? But we are still always connected to the source, or the energy that existed, the all that existed before we got into these vessels, incarnated into these vessels. And then here's another thing that I thought, it made me think about the movie Avatar. You know, they have to put this stuff in our face. They have to tell us what the truth is in our face. So Avatar is essentially them showing us what the earth realm is, how we incarnate into vessels. Okay, this is big. They showed us from the movie Avatar what the earth realm is, or what the gift of consciousness is. And they showed us people jumping in and jumping out of the consciousness. So they were explaining to us through the movie Avatar what earth really is. Earth really is, or when you incarnate or are born into this body, it's just a cup of God, or a cup of the ocean, with a little coloring, your personality, your nationality, your race, the body you chose to incarnate into. This is who you are now, right? But so my friend was saying, but where do you go when this is over, right? Like, and I was like, oh, it's like a cryo chamber, or you know, when they freeze your body, or you know, you're sitting down in a chair somewhere experiencing all of this, and then when it's over, you wake up. So life really is precious. This doesn't last forever. And my friend was like, so we don't know what exists, what happens after this. I said, well, if you go back to God consciousness is just like just vibrating, just radiating at a certain frequency, right? But we get tired of that. We get bored of that sometimes. And so what do? We want to jump into the Avatar, the movie, right? Or it doesn't have to be the movie. In the movie Avatar, they showed us the Na'vi tribe, the people living as Avatar, hence the name Avatar of the movie. They're just showing you one avatar out of all the avatars. You could be a human avatar, you could be a Na'vi avatar, on, I don't know, what is it called, Lyra, where everybody's a lion or a tiger or a feline, right? That is an avatar. The Pleiadians are an avatar. The Greys are an avatar, right? We're just all avatars. They had to show us this in the movies. But that is why life is so precious on Earth, because we've jumped into these avatars. So, yeah, we have to exist or go on, or the consciousness has to go back somewhere when life is over. But I also said, how would we be playing, or how should we be playing on Earth? Because we know what this is. Like, imagine if the next generation already knew, growing up, coming into this, okay, this is the Earth realm, this is what you do here. You were allowed to create whatever you want here. This is the land of manifestation, of creating the life that you want. This is the place where you get to play. This is the place where you get to use your mind to create whatever you want. But our experience of Earth has been hijacked. This is the place where we're supposed to come and get to play, but it's been hijacked, so we don't get to come and get to play. We've got so many systems or structures in place that tell you, you have to act like this when you come into the Earth realm. You have to dress like this when you come to the Earth realm. You have to have this job, this career. You have to act this way in the society. You have to live in these houses, live in these boxes, live in these cul-de-sacs, live in these apartment complexes when you come into this world. But the truth is, we were supposed to come into this world or this system or this avatar and get to create the world that we want, live in harmony with nature if we wanted. The Earth provides. So everything is supposed to be free. We could be operating at a consciousness that is higher than the consciousness we are performing at. Life could be incredibly different for us if coming into the Earth plane after you are born, or growing up, you know how they tell us to go to school from 9 to 3, like programming our mind, programming the minds of children. Imagine if they were spending that time in a class that told them, welcome to the Earth School. This is what you're going to be experiencing on Earth. You are going to be experiencing lots of emotions. You get to turn your thoughts into things. You get to create whatever you want. Whatever you dream up in your head, you get to create and make real here. This is the Earth realm. But instead, they tell us, sit down, be quiet, fill out these worksheets, answer these questions, take these tests. So, yes, we have been given the gift of consciousness, but we also have to receive the gift that is already given with life, which is freedom. It is intentional life creation. They go hand in hand. We're given the gift of consciousness, and we're also given the ability to create the life that we want. And we're not supposed to be living under these rules and regulations. So, now I'm starting to sound like an anarchist, huh? I hope I didn't trigger anything in the algorithm by saying that word. But that is what life is supposed to be. I hope that this was enlightening and informative. When my friend like dropped this knowledge on me, I was like, whoa, you got all of this just from saying you were thinking about death and what happens after you die. Like, this was the biggest red pill, blue pill, I don't know what they call them. But man, I felt like kind of awakened after he shared that message with me. So our life is very precious, and this experience is incredibly precious because everybody doesn't get to have it or get to experience it. And I feel like I also had the download, well, that's what ghosts and spirits are. Energies or consciousness that don't want to leave. They're not ready yet, right? And then I was also thinking about, well, my friend was talking about like even animals. He had mentioned my dog. Even animals come in to, they choose what vessels or what avatars they want to participate on earth in. They choose to be birds or squirrels or dogs or cats. It's just a cup of the ocean, or a cup of the all, cup of God, cup of the grand consciousness, the all consciousness, that chose to jump into a little bunny rabbit, or that chose to jump into a human vessel, or you know what I mean, who chose to jump into the Avatar characters, a little Navi tribe, right? Like all the things we could jump into, all the avatars we can jump into, avatars that aren't even on this plane, on this, in this world, on this, in this realm, different planets, I don't know. Like if we wanted to get quantum, if there are other places out there like Earth, maybe that's just what it is. God's source consciousness wanting to play in these little bodies, in these little avatars, to learn lessons and to experience things. And then my friend was also talking about how we must get wiped slate clean when we come, like when we're born through the birth canal. When we're born through the birth canal, it's like a clean slate. We don't come with this remembrance of knowing who we used to be in the past life. So like if you were a squirrel in the past life and you come back and you're a human now, you might, you know, some things there might be remnants or things you remember from the past life, like, oh, I used to like nuts, or you know, I don't know, weird stuff the squirrels like. But yeah, or like you'll have like tendencies like a squirrel would have, I don't know, things that you remember from the past life, though it's been wiped clean of the consciousness, right? Though we've taken the cup of water, the cup of consciousness, and dumped it back into the ocean, or dumped it back into the all, and then another piece of it, another cup of it comes out and wants to be something else. It might still remember things that might have happened, big events that might have happened in the past, but it essentially has been swiped clean, wiped clean. The energy just goes in and out. And again, what they're showing us in Avatar, the energy goes in and out. The humans can jump into the Na'vi land, the humans can jump out to the Na'vi land, right? Like in the very first Avatar. And then they also showed you in the second Avatar, now you can't jump in, jump out. We just want to show you what it was, right? We just want to show you humans can jump into the reality, or jump into the simulation, jump into the Avatar, jump into the earth plane, and humans jump out. We're trying to show you this in a non-scary way, right? In reality, it is death, the biggest transition, or the grand transition. But how they showed us in the movies, you're just jumping in the suit and getting zapped into the place, and then you're zapping back where you belong, you know, in the all. So dang, they really had to show us in plain sight. So I was saying with number 2, okay, now they're not showing you jumping in, jumping out, because they already showed us that in part 1. And part 2, now they're showing you assimilating to different places. You used to live in the woods, and now you live in the water, right? So ooh, the water. Something made me think about the firmament. Now you live in the water, now you live in the firmament, right? Because they say what exists out there is, it's all plasma, it's all water. It's all water. To leave the firmament, plasma. The way of the water, the way of the plasma. Anyway, what was I saying with that? But yeah, they're showing you that you can jump from place to place to place. Man. Okay, anyhow, I hope this message made sense and resonated, and like, oh, when he told me this message, it really resonated in my soul. But I think that was everything. I hope that this message really like woke you up, because when I heard this message, I was like, imagine what would happen if we told this to the children straight from birth, or straight from when they start going to school. What if we told them this instead? What if we told them this instead? How would the world be different if they knew they had the power of the all, of the consciousness? They're here to create and do what they want to do, whatever the soul calls them to do. They're here to do it. We are here to do it. We have to get unhijacked. Our consciousness has been hijacked. Okay, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.